Hey, this is Steve Paranto, Pickleball Hall of Famer. Wanted to let you know that we'll soon be launching a brand new podcast, the Pickleball Fountain of Youth. And what better name? You couldn't have a better name for the sport of pickleball. There's no other sport that'll keep you youthful and young, and I have to say, happy at the same time. I'd like to be that person to help the average person improve their game and improve their wellness and lifestyle and fitness. I was a PE teacher, health instructor for 30 years. All that applies to the sport of pickleball. I think it's, as a 67-year-old, I can tell you for sure, I don't feel anywhere near 67 when I'm on the pickleball court. And I'd like to help the average person, and especially senior players, with this podcast. Seniors, when you think about it, okay, the average lifespan, and I hate to even mention it since I'm approaching, 10 years from now, I'll be 77. The average male lifespan, average person, is upper 70s. I would say the average lifespan of a pickleball player is much higher than that. And if I can help people live longer, be happier longer, be active longer, I think I'd feel pretty good about myself. And so I hope we accomplish that on this podcast. On our podcast, I definitely want a portion of the podcast to be geared toward instruction, and especially instruction that's going to help the senior player. I specialize in that. How to move as a senior player, how to be efficient when you move, how to be efficient when you move so that you can play for 3 or 4 or 5 hours. And you can do that in pickleball if you move correctly. How to warm up correctly. We don't want to get injured as a senior. I'm seeing all these seniors come to our sport and they want to just they go hog wild, and they maybe play too much. They don't know how to warm up. They don't know how to cool down. They don't know how to prevent injuries. And so a lot of them don't understand the etiquette of pickleball. There's so many things that seniors, because a lot of them are very new to the sport. Most of the people that I'm teaching here at Rex have just began this sport in the last year and a half. And really a lot of them in the last 6 months. And they want a head start. And this podcast will give a lot of those people a head start so they don't waste years. Remember, we don't live forever, so we don't want to take oftentimes I'll give a lesson to a senior player who did not take lessons for 2 or 3 years and they just played. I give them a lesson, they go, wow, I didn't even think of this, I didn't think of, thank you so much, and then a week later, sometimes even days later, wow, it worked. That doesn't typically work in sports. Usually when you change mechanics, you get worse before you get better. I think a lot of the things that we'll cover will help people get better fairly quickly.